How do leaders relationally connect at level 2? 3 things. So level number 2 is the permission level. And at this level, the permission level, this is where relationships begin. In fact, the key word of the permission level is relationships. At level number 2, people follow you because they like you. There's a big difference between following you because they want to and following you because they have to. A big difference. If I have to follow you, I won't follow you well. If I want to follow you, I'll get very excited about being on the team. And the only difference is you've gone from being a positional leader, I'm the boss, do what I say, it doesn't matter, to a relational leader. I'm your friend. Let's work together. And the big plus at level 2, you see, each time you climb a level yourself, each time you bring one of your people up a level, there's something that is dynamic, that's positive, that changes for you. Let me explain. When you go to level 2, the permission level, and I call it the permission level because at this level, the people on your team give you permission to lead them. At level number 1, they didn't choose you at all. At level number 2, now they're saying, I want that person to lead me. And why do they want that person to lead? Because they get along. They relate well. They like each other. That takes your work from I have to follow them to I want to follow them. What happens at level 2 is what I call energy boost. There is a boost in energy at level number 2 that you never get at level 1. Remember when I said at level 1, if it's 4:30, the people are clearing their desk. At level number 2, that doesn't happen. At level number 2, sometimes at 5 o'clock, they're still at their desk. They're still working on something because now you have provided a work environment for them. They love you. They love doing it together. They care for each other. Now you're developing a relationship culture. And relationships, that is the foundation of leadership. People won't go along with you if they can't get along with you. Understand this. People want to be with people that care for them. They want to be with people that they like. How do leaders relationally connect at level 2? 3 things. Number 1, they listen. Relational leaders listen to their people. They want to listen. They want to hear from their people. They ask questions because a level 2 leader understands something. You have to find your people before you can lead them. And you can't find them if you don't ask questions. The number 1 leadership mess up is leading by assumption. We assume we know what the people want. We assume we know what they're thinking. We even assume that we know what they're doing. And whenever you assume in leadership, you're going to have a lot of mistakes and you're going to have a lot of misses because assumptions is not how you lead. So how do you get away from being an assumption leader? It's very simple. You ask questions and you listen. In fact, here is the process. Leaders listen, learn, and then lead. In other words, you really don't lead people until you have found them, heard from them, listened to them, and get their ideas. Now, when you do all those, you have the context that you need as a leader to lead people. Level 2 leaders observe. They are constantly watching their team. And the reason that they're constantly watching their team is because they realize that what they do is important, much more important than what they say. People say things in meetings. After the meetings, you find out what they do. I have a good friend who wrote a book several years ago called Management by Walking Around. And his whole thesis was, you just walk around, watch your people, observe them, see them, because what you say is important, but what you do is 100 times more important. Level 2 leaders, they listen, they observe, and the third thing they do is they serve really well. Level 2 leaders are servant leaders. What does that mean? That means they jump in and help their people. You see, level 1 positional leader will never serve. A positional level leader wants to be served. But when you go to level 2, you start serving your people. That's why I'm not impressed with titles. I'm not impressed with offices. I'm not impressed with any of that stuff. That has nothing to do with leadership. I have 7 companies. And sometimes somebody will come up to me, I'll be at a restaurant, and they'll say, Mr. Maxwell, I work for you. And then I'll say, well, here, sit down beside me. Let's get acquainted. And then I tell them, you don't need to call me Mr. Maxwell. Just call me John, okay? My name's John. I'm your friend. That's what my mom called me when I was born. She didn't say, oh, Mr. Maxwell, good to see you. No. John's a good word. It's a simple word. It just works. My name's John. I'm your friend. Listen to me carefully. If you're good, you don't need a title. And if you're bad, a title doesn't help. If you're a good speaker, you don't need a long introduction. And if you're a bad speaker, a long introduction won't help. It will be a happy day for you when you look at leadership as an honor to serve people and not look at leadership as a place where you should be honored. Just care for people. Just love people. Just relate to people right where they are. You have possibilities of becoming a great leader. You will never have possibilities of becoming a great leader as long as you're stuck on level number 1.